What if Maki had died instead of Mai? Just what would have happened in that moment and how strong would Mai have become? To kick things off, let me explain just why Maki got so powerful after Mai died. In Jujutsu Kaisen, twins are kind of treated like one. So because they're treated like one, they both limited each other. Because think about it, Mai is holding Maki back. Since they're treated as one person, the heavenly restriction of Maki, which she has no cursed energy in exchange for great strength, is really messed up because the two are treated as one. So if Mai has cursed energy, that really messed up Maki's heavenly restriction. Now, is the opposite true? Is it possible that Maki was holding back Mai? We don't actually know, since Mai doesn't have a heavenly restriction. It's possible that even if Maki had died, Mai wouldn't have gotten stronger, but it's also possible that maybe she would have gotten stronger. Regardless of what actually would have happened, this video is going to be going along the lines of Maki was also holding back Mai. And like I said, there's arguments for both ways, but it is plausible because they are treated as one. So if they're treated as one, it should make sense that this heavenly restriction should also be affecting Mai, even though Mai doesn't have the heavenly restriction. But I digress. So in the same sense that Maki got that massive buff because Mai had died, and then that all the cursed energy gone from Mai allowed Maki to unlock the full potential of a heavenly restriction. It's kind of funny. It's like a restriction upon a heavenly restriction. So a restriction on a restriction. So the amp that Maki got is pretty much what Mai is gonna get. Now, I don't think Mai is gonna be as strong as Maki is when she awakened, but she's gonna be pretty damn close. Because remember, Maki was stronger than Mai base to base. This awakened Mai, which I'll call it, will be a bit weaker than Maki, but still nonetheless a special grade monster. And considering the fact that they have a broken curse technique, they might actually be stronger than Maki. So that's the explanation. Now, how strong would this Mai be? Obviously, this Mai is going to be special grade level. I mean, would it be a stretch to say that she might even have reverse curse technique? Possibly, because it's not like every special grade user has reverse curse technique. We've seen Geto didn't have it, as if he did, he would have healed himself after Yuta blew half his body off with the pure love beam. So you could make the argument that she would. I think she would, personally. Obviously, she's just gonna get a massive amp. I do think that she would get it. Now, even if she doesn't, it doesn't really change much in this scenario. The main crux is she's gonna get a massive amp to her curse technique, where before she struggled to make bullets. I remember I was talking about this on stream and someone was like, she might be summoning meteors like Jogo. I mean, she'll probably be able to make weapons so easily. She'll be able to just spam them. I mean, her only limit would be her imagination, because the amount of cursed energy she's gonna have, she's gonna be able to create a whole bunch of things, and massive objects too. But the biggest buff is gonna be her base. She's going to skyrocket in base because she's gonna get such an influx of cursed energy. Because if the heavenly restriction was holding back Mai that much, well, at least in this scenario is what I mean, if that were to be the case, then the amount of cursed energy she would get would be enough to put her on the tier, maybe even as strong as base Yuta, or Yuki, or Prime Geto. So her base would be comparable to all these specialty cursed users. Obviously, I'm not saying she's going to be stronger than Yuta. Yuta at max power would most likely still be stronger, but she's going to be up there. Mai would probably be able to compete against characters like Jogo, or like the current Naoya, as Maki is doing that right now. So her speed, strength, defense, durability, stamina, it's all going to just shoot through the roof. And of course, her curse technique, like I said, it's going to be broken. Maybe she'll have reverse curse technique, and obviously her curse technique itself is just going to amp. And I don't just mean in what she can create, she's probably going to get more abilities and more branch abilities because she's so much stronger now. She'll have access to many abilities which she just could never have done before, besides just creating things. So yeah, nonetheless, she is going to be absolutely broken. So that's how strong she is. Now, how would she fare against the Zenin clan in Maki's situation? Let me tell you now, she is going to grab each of the Zenin clan members from their backs, and she is just going to spank them one by one. It's gonna be brutal. I mean, because remember, Mai is kind of a bitch, let's be honest, in a good way. She's not going to be holding back against any of these guys. She is going to be murdering them one by one. It pretty much would go just like how Maki's went. As a matter of fact, it could go even better because she actually has a powerful curse technique. So she doesn't just have to rely on her physical strength, which is also going to be boosted because remember, she's going to have so much cursed energy. Yes, her output might not change, or her output may increase a bit, but her reinforcement is going to just skyrocket. And then of course, with creating things, yeah, she's going to be slaughtering the Zenin clan. So first with Ogi, she'd be chopping his head off, she slaughter the rest, and here's the interesting part, when she kills Naoya, Naoya actually wouldn't turn into a vengeful spirit or a cursed spirit or whatever. That wouldn't happen because Mai would actually beat Naoya with cursed energy, or she'd kill him with cursed energy. So yeah, the current arc we're getting with Maki versus Naoya, we wouldn't get that with Mai. Naoya would just be dead. It'd be game over. Now, what would this do for her character though? I think it'd be pretty interesting. I think Mai would actually become a lot kinder, a lot softer because of all the things that have gone down. However, it is possible that she's just going to become more brutal. She might be less snarky and just more serious, actually kind of like how Maki is right now. Her character could go one of either ways. Regardless, she would obviously be allied with Jujutsu High, just like how Maki is, and like how the little witch is, or how Nodotoshi is. So yeah, she'd still be on the side of Jujutsu High, but her character would go through a lot of changes because you have to remember, I don't want to say it was a curse, it could have been something like a curse, but basically when Mai died, she told Maki destroy everything, big sister. So in this case, it could be the opposite way around. So when Maki dies, she's gonna be like, alright, can you please kill everyone, little sister? And it would just go along those lines. I mean, would this have been better than Maki? I don't want to be that guy who's like, oh, this character should have died, or this one should have lived. Because, you know, it is a bit weird being like, oh, you should have died, you know, you should have let that person live. But it would have been interesting to see Mai live and Maki die, because the curse technique of Mai would have just been so cool to see. Don't get me wrong, I love Maki, it's really great to see her be so physically strong and beating ass. But I mean, just imagine what Mai could have done. And really, it's up to her imagination, because that's how her abilities work. She can just create whatever she wants. But yeah, she still would have killed the Zenin clan, and since she has cursed energy imbued into her attacks, Naoya would have just died. He would have never become a cursed spirit, because I do think Mai would have finished Naoya off. Because I think in the Maki case, for some reason, Maki didn't finish Naoya off, and it was the mother who stabbed him to death. But even if the mother didn't stab him, Maki still didn't have cursed energy, so yeah, I don't know. I do think Mai would have just killed his ass. But that's pretty much my thoughts on what if Maki had died and Mai had lived. She would have become a special grade beast. It would have been really cool to see. But I'm not saying that Maki sucks. Maki's great as well. It's great that we saw Maki awake. But what do you think would have happened if Maki had died and Mai had lived? There is that possibility that Mai wouldn't have gone to power up if Maki had died, but considering the fact that they're treated as one, the heavenly restriction, even though it's just on Maki, since they're treated as one, it should still be affecting Mai in some way, which would make sense why Mai is such a powerful curse technique, but she has so little cursed energy. Mai can barely even create a bullet. The restriction because they're twins would then make sense. But yeah, what do you think? How do you think the story would have gone? And actually, something I really want to hear is just what Mai could have created had she gotten that massive influx of cursed energy and if she had become special grade. I mean, seriously, it's crazy to think about. It'd be like that Bleach character, one of the Stern Ritters, who can just create whatever they imagine. Absolutely crazy, right? But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing. I have a ton of JJK content just like this. I have a bunch of what ifs, theory videos, versus battle, discussions, breakdowns, and a whole bunch. And of course, I live stream every so often too, usually talking about JJK and live reacting to chapters and stuff. So yeah, if you want to, do consider it. That's pretty much it from me. I've been meaning to make this for a while. I've talked about it on stream a couple times actually, and now the video is finally out. If you've made it this far, you're an absolute legend, and have a nice day too. Take care and bye.